In this era of deep complexity,
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Beyond the edges of black or white.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
It's time to be notionally accurate.
You're not telling the truth, Mr. Secretary. No disrespect, but that's just not true.
Here's your host, Captain Kirk.
Welcome one and all to the 12th episode of the Notionally Accurate podcast, produced live right here at the One Man's Burden Studios in my undisclosed compound, located near the scenic Alpine mountain range of Djibouti. My name is Captain Kirk, and I'll be your affable host. As the 2024 presidential election hits the final days, I've noticed one inescapable conclusion. If the Real Clear Politics betting markets are accurate, then President Trump will ultimately emerge victorious. Now, Democrats like to diminish betting markets, betting platforms, especially Polymarket, because Peter Thiel, who is friends with J.D. Vance, has a financial interest in it. The RCP betting averages are based on multiple betting platforms, all of which agree with Polymarket's projections. For those watching on YouTube and Rumble, you can see the similarity of all these betting platforms have with each other. Now, CNN's Harry Enten, the resident polling junkie, highlighted the grim reality for the Democrat Party.
Republicans have been registering voters in big, huge numbers. They have been gaining in party registration versus the Democrats in the swing states with party registration. We're talking Arizona. I think it's a 5-point. They've expanded their lead from 5 points from where it was back in 2020. How about Nevada? Big Republican registrations there. They like the early vote. How about North Carolina? Big Republican registration games. How about Pennsylvania? We spoke about it before a few months ago. Big Republican Party registration gains versus from where they were 4 years ago. So Republicans are putting more Republicans in the electorate. The Democratic number versus the Republican number has shrunk. And so the bottom line is, if Republicans win, come next week, Donald Trump comes next week, the signs all along will have been obvious. We would look at the right direction being very low, Joe Biden's approval rating being very low, and Republicans really registering numbers. You can't say you weren't warned.
So after the lawfare against him, the media, academia, industrial complex smears against him, including but not limited to calling him and his supporters Nazis, fascists, akin to Hitler, etc., and 2 attempted assassinations against him, President Trump remains resilient, and like the 2016 campaign, is having the time of his life. That includes trolling Kamala's unproven claim of having worked at McDonald's, a boast made to appear that she was a part of the middle to lower class, but lacks substantiation, by tossing on an apron at a local franchisee and working the fry cook line for a bit before turning his attention to the drive-thru.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much for everything you're doing.
I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You gotta love it. And how are Kamala supporters holding up to the momentum of Team Trump? Here's actor Billy Eichner freaking out over what's going on.
Donald Trump, in his first term, managed to overturn Roe v. Wade and eliminate the right for women federally to have an abortion after 50 years. Can you imagine what he is going to do in a second term when he's more confident, has less fucks to give, is more empowered, and honestly seems more organized? Project 2025, which is truly horrific in terms of its goals, points to all of that. So please, do what you can, because we will live to regret it if we don't.
Holy shit. While President Trump and J.D. Vance appear on huge podcasts like Joe Rogan's, Kamala Harris bombs on The View.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
And Tim Walz gloats about
I've become friends with school shooters.
So while Kamala Harris plagiarizes Wikipedia and herself, President Trump rallies at Madison Square Garden in New York.
America's just not just going to be great. America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
And when the freakout over President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden reached its peak, current White House resident Joe Biden calls Trump supporters garbage.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
And in response, in another fantastic troll, President Trump arrived in a America First garbage truck and kept the vest on during his rally as he provided an inside view into what led to his campaign setting the whole thing up.
And one of my people came in and said, "Sir, you know, the word garbage is the hottest thing right now out there. The hottest thing out there. Sir, would you like to drive a garbage truck?" Now, we're about, 30 minutes from landing. We had to do this pretty quick. I said, "It's sort of cool, though, isn't it? Because, And I said, I think that's okay, but, I don't feel comfortable wearing a suit." And they pulled up this garbage truck. I don't know how the hell they did it so fast. I have very capable people. They put a big sign on the truck. Did you see it? I think they showed it. Yeah. And then they said, "Sir, we have a vest." I said, "Well, should I leave my suit on and put it over the vest?" But that doesn't look very good, right? That doesn't look good. So I said, "All right, look, let me take it off." And then I actually said, I climbed into the truck, but so I said, "How the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one." This was a beauty. I said, "You didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big?" They brought this brand new, gorgeous truck, wonderful driver. He looked like Cary Grant in his prime. You know who that is? This beautiful driver. And he drove that big thing up. And I said, "Man, this is bad, because now I have all the cameras are all watching. Look at all the fake news. They were most of them." No, most of them, many of them were there. And I'm saying, oh, boy. One little mistake with these guys and your political career is over. You can't even. So I said, man, if I don't get up there, this is going to be very embarrassing. These stupid people, they'll say, "He's cognitively and physically impaired." And I can't do that when I'm alongside of this great athlete. I got to get up to that. So look, the first stair is like up here. I'm saying, shit. So I had the adrenaline going, and I made it. I made it. And then I gave a little news conference from the front of the, they asked their wise guy questions and everything. And then we drove about 2 feet. I got out, got into the plane. And then I got in the car, and I'm driving over here, and I have this still on. And I come into the arena, and I say, "Where's my jacket? I want to get out of this thing." And they said, "It would be unbelievable if you could wear it on stage." I said, I said, "No way." I got 25,000 people standing outside. I got all these people here. There's no way I'm wearing it on stage. They said, "Oh, okay, sir." I said, "Get me my jacket." But if you did, it actually makes you look thinner. I said, and they got me. I said, I want to wear it on stage. When they said I look thinner, I said, in that case, I'll wear it on stage.
That's just awesome. So how do I think the election, T-minus however many days it takes to figure out who the hell actually won, will turn out? Not entirely sure. There are just too many factors and too many shenanigans that can come into play. It doesn't help when a Democrat Secretary of State like Colorado's Jenna Griswold, who unsuccessfully tried to kick President Trump off the ballot but lost 9-0 in the U.S. Supreme Court, allows her employees to post passwords to voting machines online. Regardless, in a fair and square election, here is my map for the 2024 presidential election. For those who aren't watching the visual companion on YouTube, Rumble, or X, President Trump wins the swing states of Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina, for a total of 312 electoral votes. We'll see how it all pans out after November 5th. Anyway, thanks for listening to episode 12 of Notionally Accurate. I'm your host, Captain Kirk. More to come on future episodes. Find this podcast on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Rumble. Follow me on Twitter/X at NotionallyACC. That's at NotionallyACC. Email me at notionallyaccurate@protonmail.com. That's notionallyaccurate@protonmail.com. Take care, and remember, even if you can't be factually correct, you can always be notionally accurate.